Hello, Casual Pilot here, back for another fun video. Recently I got to go be part of the Women in Aviation International event called Girls in Aviation. Yo, I'm not a girl, I'm not a female, but I do a lot of promo work and a lot of videos for the local EAA chapter, and this is just one of the things that they do. And so this was a great opportunity to show an outreach, and I'm telling you, it is really cool what they were doing and getting girls exposed to the aviation industry and getting excited about being around planes and getting careers in aviation. There were a lot of stations the girls got to go to and do hands-on learning, and I initially planned, if you saw my original vlog of the entire day, that I had said I was going to do a video of each different station. Well, as luck would have it, a few of the stations didn't produce the content the way that I had the vision in my head to put these videos together. So I did get really good stuff, in my opinion, on 3 of the stations, and so we've got 3 of those videos. This particular video is about a panel discussion that started the day off where girls submitted questions, and they had a young lady in pilot training, they had a flight instructor, they had a retired United Airline pilot, and a woman ATC control tower operator. And the kids got to ask them questions, and they asked some really cool questions. I didn't record all of them because I was getting some other shots to go with the video. This is the panel discussion at Girls in Aviation. Before we go there, remember, if you like these videos, subscribe down there, like my videos, leave me some comments, and I will interact with you as much as I can. I sure enjoy doing this. Now let's get on with our panel discussion. Okay, we're here again with Sarah. There she is. And this is kind of a cool thing. I believe this is the opening of the day.
This is the opening of the day. We have a panel with 4 speakers from different areas of aviation.
We got what? What speakers do we have?
We have an air traffic controller, we have pilots, and we have a flight instructor, and I believe we have a student pilot as well.
And they're all girls. They're
all women who are involved in aviation in some way.
Very cool. Do you have any idea what they're going to talk about, or is it kind of a free-for-all?
It's a little bit of a free-for-all, but the girls who signed up were asked to submit questions, and so we're going to start with those questions that girls have submitted to ask our panel.
Did you get some really good ones?
We got some really good ones. So people really want to know about what do you do in your area in aviation. That's really the big thing people want to know about.
I'm looking forward to that too because, hey, I'm an aviation nerd and it's all aviation fun. So, all right, thanks, Sarah.
Thank you.
I'm here with 3 aviation ladies. You can't see this one over here. Yeah, they did the shuffle. I'm here with Susan. You might remember Susan from the Above the Clouds videos we did. Very cool stuff. Did you know? Raise your arm. She used to be a real pilot on United, and you flew what?
I was a captain on Boeing 777.
So she flew all over the place on big planes. This is Miss Kim. You're an air traffic controller. Where are you from?
I work at Madison Tower.
So you just work across the rain out there?
Mm-hmm. Madison rain.
Do you have any? Will you be telling any fun stories?
I just pick one.
Pick one.
What do you want to hear about?
And this is Remy. Let's get over in the video a little better. Remy, say hi.
Hi.
And I went on a Young Eagles flight with a kid from our church a few months ago, and Remy was the pilot, and I made it down safe, so I have to say she's a good pilot. So,
a great pilot.
Ladies, give us a little quick nutshell. What are we going to learn about today?
Well, they get to ask us questions. That's what the panel is.
What our experiences are.
The girls get to ask questions, so we get to tell them stories from the questions they ask, and then we're just going to tell a little bit about ourselves and what we do and how we got into flying.
Stories from the cockpit.
Maybe a little bit.
And with stories from the tower, what kind of stuff are you going to talk about, Kim?
As the beacon turns. Yes. Well,
As the beacon turns? Is that a soap opera?
Yes.
Aviation.
Aviation. Well, I mean, honestly, how I got into it is a complete fluke, and so that's why I'm here today, because honestly, I probably didn't know what an air traffic controller was when I was any of these girls' age. So I just kind of want to bring it to people and open, maybe someone gets excited about doing something like this.
Cool. And how about you, Remy?
Yeah, I'm hopefully going to share my story about how I started here in the local area, how I did all my flight training here, and how I'm now able to give back to students and young people and hopefully get them involved in aviation in some way.
Ava is curious. When did you know you wanted to fly? So I went to the EAA Oshkosh AirVenture event that goes on every year about 2 years ago, and the first time I saw an aerobatic airplane fly upside down and hanging on the prop, just slowly going across the sky, I went, yeah, that shouldn't happen. I'm an engineer. I want to learn why that's happening, and after that, I kind of got hooked. I've been up there every year since, and the last couple of years we've gone for the full week, and at the end of the week I'm always like, oh crap, that's over now.
I took a aviation class in high school at the Summer High School over here, and that was the first time I knew about aviation, and I knew, or I found out it was a career that I could pursue, or anyone could pursue if they were interested. So this was 8 years ago, and I came out here, did a discovery flight, and have been flying ever since.
And like I said, I went flying with a boyfriend and back in college, and I thought I could do this just as good as him. And so that's when I started flying. And I've loved it ever since, and that was 40 years ago. So it's been a long time, and I still love it as much as I ever loved it. So it's great.
Beatrix is curious. How many buttons are there in the cockpit?
All right, let's start with our airliner pilot because she has more buttons than anyone else.
I really never counted the buttons, but a lot. There's a lot. People always come up to the cockpit when they want to just come and peek in and see it and say, do you know what all these buttons do? And I kind of want to say, no. But really I do.
Okay, and then we'll go all the way down to the smaller breezy flies, a little tiny two-seater. How many buttons are in the cockpit of your airplane?
I think there's 3 buttons and maybe 7 knobs, so maybe significantly less.
Clara is curious. What is your favorite airplane?
It is the F-16, I would say, just because I get to see it so often. It's just amazing. I don't know. I mean, although I will say I love to work a heavy jet too.
So FedEx flies in here at 6 o'clock in the morning, and they're called FedEx Heavy because they're big airplanes. Flight instructor, what's your favorite airplane?
Oh, see, my answer was also going to be the F-16, but that's also because I am in the Air National Guard here in Madison and was a crew chief on the F-16, so I know them pretty well. I also think they're a great jet.
Ellie is curious. Why do you want to be a pilot?
I want to be a pilot because I like doing things that you don't get to do on a normal everyday to-day basis. So I'm also a scuba diver. So I really like the idea of we're just walking around on land all day. That gets kind of boring. What's up in the sky? That's what I want to see.
It's beautiful. That's one thing. It's just like the view from the cockpit is just amazing, I would say. And plus the skill. It's just fun to be able to do something so amazing and complicated.
Emma is curious. What's the farthest you've ever flown?
Okay, my farthest is to Hong Kong, and that's a non-stop 15-and-a-half-hour flight. But there's 4 pilots in the cockpit, so 2 are flying, 2 are on break, and then we switch out. So we're not actually sitting up there for 15-and-a-half hours, but it is really far.
That's from O'Hare.
Yeah, from Chicago.
Yeah, so a couple weeks ago, I actually flew with a student pilot who bought an airplane in Florida. So I met him in Florida, Tampa area, and we flew this 152 2-seat airplane all the way from Florida to Madison. It took us about 13 hours of flying. So it takes us as long from Florida to Wisconsin as it took Susan from Chicago to Hong Kong. So.